Hey everybody, and welcome back to a character creation for the eventual live play of CyberPunk Red, the tabletop CyberPunk game that just came out. The corporate was just released a little bit ago, and it's based. This one's based about 30 years before the very popular CyberPunk 2077 video game. Tonight we're on with Billy. Say hi, Billy.
Evening.
And we are going to be making a Netrunner. So I actually have Mark on the line as well. Say hi, Mark.
Hi, Mark.
As Mark is playing the other Netrunner on our team, so that we can go over a little bit of net running, how it works, and they can kind of build their netrunners so that they work well together. So netrunners have, as we mentioned before, but have the role ability of interface, which gives them a set of actions that they can perform while on the net. Depending on what rank they are, it tells them how many actions they have, because these actions take place a little bit faster than normal meat space actions, right? So you have uh, so the interface ability lets you interface with a network. You have to be within 6 meters or about 18 feet of an access point and have a clear line of sight. The net is different than the internet. This is an alternate history where the internet never really took off. And when it did create this vast network, uh, some rogue AIs and viruses wiped out a whole bunch of things and killed a whole bunch of people. And essentially now we have pockets of domains on a city net for major cities, this being one of them. So Lumens Nouveau has kind of a network, a city network that's highly monitored of a whole bunch of little pods or garden. Is it
Gardens.
garden?
Gardens.
Yeah,
Yep.
that have focuses. So a company will have a gardener, a person has one that has their favorite music or different video blogs or blogs, that kind of stuff. And so with the two net runners that we have, their job will be in essence, when they have jobs, is to go in, turn off security, or go in looking for files, or acting as Overwatch and support for their team sometimes. But because they have to be so close to an access port, they have to be able to um, do more than just lay there. Back in the day of Cyberpunk, they had to plug themselves in, which meant that their comatose bodies would be laying there for anyone to deal with. So their team would have to make sure that they were safe. Now, because of security, they have to be in the building essentially in order to do these net runs. And so part of that is they have the ability now to log in and see the net as an augmented reality, so they can still see what's going on around them and have actions in the real world, so they can kind of defend themselves. Why don't you tell me a little bit about the kind of character you want to make, Billy?
So we actually spoke briefly about this a couple days back about the kind of netrunner I would be, and um, so I understand the other netrunners kind of a bit of a, I don't want to say pacifist because that's too strong a word for
Uh,
cyberpunk, but
if you're familiar with video games, PVE versus PvP, I'm the PVE server guy. I don't deal well, or I'm not strong against other people, but I'm great against daemons and the stuff that lives on the net.
okay. So then my background, the way I see it, and I'm still, obviously it's early enough that I'm happy to adjust as necessary, is an ex-military netrunner, right? So thinking about that, probably used to working in a team, right? Just because of like the inherent danger of net running, like you need some backup and meat space to be able to be effective, right? So don't net run by yourself. Probably net run in a group of like, we'll call it, I'm just making this up now, but like say somewhere between 3 to 5 individuals, right?
Right.
A little bit more background would be, I haven't filled in the blanks as to why he's no longer in the military. Maybe the team got wiped out. I don't know. So fairly distrust. Go ahead.
That's part of what we're here to find out too as we build it. They've got a really neat system called Life Path that helps you kind of build some of these elements in your past to help fill in that story if you don't have one. So it's awesome.
So I'm thinking Netrunner, right? Probably, and by probably I mean I'm sure not as good a Netrunner as the other character, but offset by the fact that he's probably somewhat more combat adjusted real world as well, right? So like I said, in my head I imagined a team of like, 3, 4, 5 guys, right? Maybe 2 jack in, or all 4 jack in, but also having to be able to perform some kind of combat in a worst case scenario.
Well, you've helped Daniel now, because there's going to be at least one Netrunner that lives.
We shall see. Is that what you're going to say?
Yeah, we'll see if I make it.
Okay. So that being the case, you're going to be starting at interface level 4, just like everyone else. Okay. And we can start. I'm on page 42 for those that are in the book. And where we just picked the role. We talked about the role ability. I'm going to be moving to the life path system.
Okay.
So essentially how this works is it has a handful of tables, and you roll randomly, or you select if you already have an option that you want to go with. But all of the options, I've rolled randomly a lot on this table recently, and some of the combos it makes are really interesting character backgrounds. But we'll start with the cultural origin. Did you have a cultural origin that you were already thinking for your character?
No, I think I'm pretty happy to go any which way, because I mean, this doesn't mean that like I was born there, right? It just means like that's my background.
So essentially it's kind of where your family is from. If you grew up in the United States, but your family was from South Asia, and they had stuck very closely to their roots, even though being in America, I could see you still saying your cultural origin is South Asian because you were still deeply set in that culture.
Right.
But if you were if they immigrated 200 years ago, then you would be North American.
For sure. Okay. Yeah.
So we can roll randomly on this, or we can pick these ones if you already have an idea.
Let's roll randomly, and if I really hate it, then I'll pick one.
Okay.
But so I kind of like the idea of random.
I know your system, how it's set up right now. Do you want me to roll for you, or do you have physical? Okay. So I'm going to roll a die 10.
Okay.
1d10. And hopefully I roll better here than I roll anywhere else, because apparently my dice do not like my players. You got a 3, which is Western European. So within that, some examples are Dutch. Hold on one second. Dutch, English, French, German, Italian, Norwegian, Portuguese, and Spanish. And these are obviously just examples if you have another area or a different roles that you want me to make.
Okay, so I'm going to throw a wrench into this real quick for you.
Okay.
Because I want to keep you on your toes. How would you feel about a background in the French Foreign Legion?
So, I don't have a problem with that, and it might give you ties to another character, another player character.
Yep.
Because Anthony is playing a med tech from France.
Okay.
So that might give you a connection there. maybe not that you knew each other back in France, but that you two Frenchmen in Lumens Nouveau probably stand out a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
My only questions are: you going to speak in character?
Ooh, if I'm French Foreign Legion, I can pretty much pick whatever character.
No, I mean, are you going to speak with a French accent when you're?
Well, that's the
speaking in
thing.
character?
If I'm French Foreign Legion, I'm not really from France.
Oh, I see
So
what you're saying.
what the kicker there is that you still have to choose a foreign language.
Right.
So for French Foreign Legion makes sense for the squad that you want to do. And there are some places in Europe that still are like that without corp takeover.
Mm-hmm.
So it's believable, but you would still have to have a language.
Okay. So I'll tell you what. So my character's not going to be from France, but he will have what. But we'll go ahead and say because of his time in the French Foreign Legion, he speaks French, and maybe if I can or want to, maybe at some point in the future, I can. Whether it turns out that I came from a French colony back in the day, so I automatically know French or something else. We'll figure that out later.
Yeah, that's fine. That works.
Okay.
That works. Okay. So Western European, and we're going to pick French for now.
Yep.
Next table is your personality. Some people like to roll randomly, but most people already have an idea for how they wanted to run the character.
Yep.
So I can tell you what some of the options are, or I can roll randomly, and then we'll try to play to that.
I will. I'm looking at this and I'm thinking either 3 or 6.
Arrogant, proud, and aloof, or stable and serious.
Yeah.
Which one are you leaning towards? I could see you playing either one of those, actually.
Yeah, I'm trying to think which one would be more fun to play, if I'm honest. I'm going to go with... 3. I'm going to go with arrogant, proud, and aloof. I'm throwing a wrench on myself there, but there it is.
Okay. I think that's going to be awesome. Everyone else has picked friendly and outgoing so far. So
good.
Yeah. I didn't want to say it just in case, but yeah. All right. So clothing style. Essentially, you have everything from generic chic, leisure wear, business wear, high fashion, bohemian, bag lady, leathers. What are you thinking? Or do you want to roll randomly? If he, how steeped in the military is he?
I'm thinking like,
like what?
Late 20s, so maybe somewhere between
late 20s and arrogant and proud.
I mean, it's not so much the proud that I'm really thinking on for like the character, but I'm sorry, not so much arrogant, but proud and aloof, right? Like I'm imagining somebody who had to go through a bunch of shit, made it through to the other side, and maybe has the aloof part just not really feeling like you need to prove yourself before he really lets you in, right? And then I could see just being proud in general, which I could see how that would bleed into arrogant, or at least people coming, you know how like there's that dangerous line between confidence and arrogance, a very thin line.
Yeah.
I could see character not necessarily thinking of himself as arrogant, but sometimes bleeding over into that.
I like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Does he feel like he has something to prove?
No, not at all.
So you could go high-end leisure wear or urban flash, like streetwear urban flash. It doesn't have to be neon and metallic, but it could be some name brand stuff or the like.
So I'm going to go with leisure wear,
Okay.
but the one edit to the hairstyle is neat and short.
Neat and short. Cool. Cool. Does he have an affectation that he's never without?
Tattoos.
Tattoos. I'm hoping you're going the direction that I'm hoping you're going with. And when we get there.
Yep.
Okay, what do you value the most? Money, honor, your word, honesty, knowledge, vengeance, love, power, family, or friendship?
I would say either my word or honor.
I kind of like that because it almost is together on that. Those can be very similar. All right, so we're gonna go with how do you feel about most people?
So it's weird, right? Like I don't like or dislike people. It's just I don't trust them. It's almost like I don't have very high expectations of people until they prove otherwise, right?
So,
it's almost like a backwards to like, oh, I think most people are good until they show the other way. I would say I think most people are meh until they prove otherwise.
So you could say I stay neutral.
Yep.
That would probably be the closest to that, I think. Indifferent, yeah.
Yep.
All right. Things you value the most.
Let's roll on that one.
Yeah, some of these start being where it rules. Okay. 5. Yourself.
Okay.
You go with that one?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. All right.
That's funny.
The most valued possession that you own. And these are things that are probably relics or things that have been handed down, that kind of stuff.
Let's roll on this as well.
Okay.
I mean, I've got a couple ideas, but maybe it'll be interesting.
A tool. That can be anything from a weapons kit to a... Yeah, that one's kind of harder to do. And a tool. And 7 is a musical instrument.
I'm thinking either a weapon or a photograph.
So I just rolled a 1, which is a weapon. But you could pick a photograph.
I leave it up to the gods of chance, i.e., you.
A weapon.
Okay.
That's what I rolled.
All right.
So we'll have to circle back to that. All right. This is your original family background. So who your parents were, essentially. On page 49.
Okay. I'm happy to roll on this as well.
Okay. 3, corporate technicians. Middle class with comfortable Conapps or a Beaverville suburban homes, minivans, and corporate-run technical schools. Kind of like living in the 1950s America crossed with 1984. Actually, that's not bad. And if you grew up to be a Netrunner,
yeah,
you had access to government program or corp programs. You had access to corp computers and resources.
Yep.
Okay. Boop. And then childhood environment. There's a couple that kind of make sense for this, but overall, yeah, that one doesn't really make sense. Spent a safe spent in a safe corp zone walled off from the rest of the city. In a decaying, once upscale neighborhood, now holding off the booster gangs to survive.
I mean, if I was like middle class, then number 2 sounds appropriate.
Yeah, I think so too. And when we talk about Beavervilles, that's essentially what we're talking about.
Gotcha.
So if you could put Beaverville under childhood environment, Anthony, thank you. Okay, your family crisis. What happened with your family that kind of led to you being where you are now? I rolled a 2, though I'm not sure how well that would work. The family lost everything through bad management.
Mm-hmm.
Your family's imprisoned and you alone escaped. Family vanished and you're the only remaining member. Family was killed. Involved in a long-term conspiracy. Scattered to the winds due to misfortune. Cursed with a hereditary feud that has lasted for generations.
That one.
You are the inheritor of a family debt. You must honor this debt before moving on with your life.
I was going to go with number 8.
Number 8. Your family was scattered to the winds due to misfortune. I like that. And it gives me enough plot hooks for your family to come back and haunt you. All right. So how we've been doing friends and enemies and tragic love stories. It says roll 1d10 and subtract 7, minimum 0. We've been doing minimum 1. So I'm going to go ahead and roll a d10. And you got a 6, which would normally be a -1, but it's a minimum 1. And so this friend, it was an old enemy. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah?
That.
And then well, you watched the video, but what we're going to do is we're going to come up with a lot of this stuff, and then we're going to come back later and kind of flesh it out and give these people names and that kind of stuff. So for enemies, I also rolled a 6, which means you have one enemy who was a corporate exec.
Okay.
And there's options here and that's if you like the corporate exec, because there are other options.
I mean, that could be the root cause why my family got scattered to the winds.
Yep. What caused it? Who's been wronged? Rolling naturally, it's deserted or betrayed the other, which could be that he betrayed your family, and which is why your family is scattered to the winds. If you wanted that,
he or
Yep.
she.
he or she. Thank you.
Yes.
We've seen a
let's
lot
go
of
with that.
she's. Yeah.
No, but I mean,
And what can they throw at you? Themselves and a few friends, entire gang, small corporation, powerful corporation. What do you think?
I was gonna go with either 4 or 5.
All right, let's say 5.
Okay.
do you
So-
want me to talk about things in this, or do you want me to stay in the background?
Things in this.
Well, just because of the way this is kind of playing out in his dice rolls, there could be common bonds between the two characters.
Oh no, that's up to you. Absolutely.
So, Billy, my Netrunner is actually on the run from a corporation. And it could be that we're working together, that we formed this new team of the two of us as net running, because it's the same corporate exec. And I'm trying to get my life back and uncover dirt on this corp exec. So that could be a potential connection between us. You don't have to do that. Don't feel obligated to do it. I'm just saying it is very similar as
Okay.
of right now. So just keep that in mind. Do what you do. You whatever you want to do is totally fine. Just saying there is a potential backstory kind of connection there.
Okay,
He
perfect.
says they're very similar, but the reasons for the corp and him are different already than the
Yes.
reasons that you have. So it's
Very
not like
much
they're
so.
the same.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it's
Although Anthony did say that maybe his family took the fall for what I did.
oh, that's sad.
And you know what?
Hilarious.
That might actually work because maybe Dax tracked me down, thinking it was my fault. Which, I mean, it would have been. So that's a possibility. Again, just
So Anthony, under what can they throw at you? It's themselves and 5 friends. Yep. And then the next table is what are you or they going to do about it? So it's what you would how far you're willing to go to make them pay, essentially. So I don't know how angry your character is, but or how angry they are at your character. But I rolled a 4, which is go into a murderous rage and try to physically rip their face off.
So that's what they want to do to me?
Or you to do to them, or both to each other. I can re-roll that too.
You know what? I mean,
If they
I feel like the
scattered
way
your
my
family to the
character
wind,
is,
yeah.
like the way I plan on playing my character, if that's how they felt about me, I'd kind of look at the situation and say, bring it.
Okay. Nice note, Anthony.
Yes.
All right, so now we're going to go with tragic love affairs. Let's see what the dice tell us. We already have a kidnapped loved one. I rolled a 1. Minimum 1, so there's that.
Okay.
And I don't use that one. 9. A rival cut you out of the action.
Wait, a what did?
A rival.
Oh, I thought you said
Cut-
rival.
No, a rival cut you out of the action. One of your rivals took your
Your lady?
Took my girl or my boy or whatever it
Yeah.
is.
took your
Took my
partner.
person.
Yeah, took your partner away from you. Do you like that, or do you want to change it?
Roll one more time.
Sure. Ooh. Your lover mysteriously vanished.
Perfect. I like it.
You didn't finish that show.
you do
What?
like that?
Twice.
Huh?
It's disturbing.
Or did we finish it?
The what?
Boys?
We finished it.
Why did we finish them all?
Because there's only 5 episodes?
How did they vanish? When did they vanish? How did?
Oh, yeah. Let's say they vanish. Do you want them to vanish? The number 3. So 3 years ago, 3 months ago.
I'm gonna go with that's what the driving cause for me no longer being in Europe, trying to track them down.
Ooh. Nice. So how long have you had? Well, we'll get there eventually, but how long has Dax been here?
We'll go with 3 months, relatively recent.
Oh, okay. I think you are going to be the newest person to Lumen's Nouveau.
Booyah.
Booyah. All right. Next table. Wrap up your life goals. Now, this one we haven't really been rolling on because most of the time the player knows kind of what direction they want their character to be going. But it is a table, and we can roll on it. Do you have your book?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right
Okay.
now.
Okay, right now.
Number 8.
Number 8. Save, if possible, anyone else involved in your background, like a lover or a family member. Nice. Okay.
So, like right now, I'm seeing a trend that I didn't set out with, which is everyone that has cared for me has disappeared at one point or another.
Mhm.
My family is all scattered, and then the person I loved is mysteriously gone as well.
Well, I like that. It's almost like you're cursed.
Yes.
All right. So now we move to the Netrunner specific life path. So what kind of runner are you? I have a hacktivist interested in cracking systems and exposing bad guys. But
I don't see that.
I'm sorry. Page 56.
Okay. I guess I went too far.
So yeah, so these are specific to your role.
Gotcha.
So under normal circumstances, if you were still with your team, it might be part of a regular team of freelancers.
Right.
That's the type of running that you do, the type of special jobs that you do, right? But any of these fit, I believe. Yeah. Do you have one that you like?
I mean, so what kind of runner was I / what kind of runner am I now?
This
and
is
kind of.
This is the type you are now because you are no longer part of the French Foreign Legion, and you are no longer part of that squad.
Freelancer who will hack for hire.
Okay. Freelancer who will hack for hire. Do you have a partner or do you work alone? So this is an NPC partner that you might have and go to if you're in trouble. Like to help you get programs or to help you figure something out or to give you an idea of how things work.
Okay.
So do you want to work alone or do you have a partner that helps you out like that?
I would say yes. I think my character would have a partner.
Okay, so I'll roll for that. Boop, boop, boop. And that is a 6, which is a secret partner with a corporate connections, which may be part of the reason you came here to Lumen's Nouveau of all the places.
I love it.
So a secret partner with corporate connections. Now that means it's a partner that no one knows about.
Okay.
But it could also mean it's someone you don't know.
Okay.
That has shown that they have corporate connections and that has been talking to you and wants to help you.
Okay.
Okay. What is your workplace like?
Minimalist, clean, and organized.
Didn't want to take the chance. I'm rolling for that one, huh?
I'm good.
We are going to get along so well.
Your characters are very different.
Really?
Yeah, Mark is essentially bag lady chic, sleeping in a mattress of wires. Who are some of your other clients? This is the next page, page 57. Yep. I rolled a 6. You work for yourself and sell whatever data you can find on the net.
I want to go with 6.
Okay. You work for yourself and sell data you find on the net. Thank you, Anthony, for typing all this in.
Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Where do you get programs?
I heart you too.
There you go. It's your secret partner right there. Where do you get your programs? So when we talked to Mark, and I'm not sure how far you got in that, but there are a couple places like night markets and from a couple different points of contact in the city that you can buy programs. But overall, there's a lot of different ways you can get them.
I was going to go with 5.
5. You have back doors into a few corporate warehouses. And who's gunning for you? This is not necessarily your enemy. This could be a totally different group that's gunning for you for totally different reasons. It can be, but it doesn't have to be.
Let's roll on this. I'm not really sure.
Okay. Oh, I rolled a 6. A fixer or another client who wants your services exclusively, which I think works really well with the fact that you work for yourself and sell whatever data you can find on the net. So you won't take jobs to be exclusive to a specific person.
All right. I like it.
Yeah? Does it work for you?
Yeah.
And I just want to quickly interject because Anthony made a good point in the chat. Could that be the French Foreign Legion?
They want me back?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just a thought.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay.
Or it could even be something you took or something you know.
Right.
Which is why they're after you. So lots to play with there.
There is, yeah. Very good point. Good point. Okay, so that's it for life path.
Okay.
Now let's go back and let's fluff this out a little bit. So we have a friend who is an old enemy. So friend, old enemy. Now this could be something like a rival from when you were learning that you guys just did not get along, and then as you got older, work in the French Foreign Legion turned you into friends.
That's what I thought of, right? Like somebody who I was like didn't click with at first, but after serving for a while, you know. Yes.
Okay, so since you were in a net running group, I think Achilles is a good code name. I know that probably wasn't the direction it was going with that, but what do you think?
Actually, if that's the case, then God, it's kind of a little bit ironic.
Oh, that's interesting.
Who was who did Achilles kill at Troy? Blanking on his name.
Anthony says it's pronounced Achille.
Hold on a second. I'm going to do a quick search on the interwebs.
Prince Hector.
That's the one. So if you don't mind, I'll change my my thing from Dax to Hector.
Okay. So you are friends, but you could still be competitive with each other.
Yep.
Yeah. You bring out the best in each other because you push each other. Is Achilles or Achilles, whatever, Achilles here in Lumens Nouveau?
No. I think the only person I have in Lumens Nouveau was the whoever my backup friend was. We said I don't want to work alone.
If they are in, no. You can work alone. It's just this is a secret partner that helps you, like when you dead end.
No, so like,
stuff, yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I mean, it's up to you on how secret they are and who they're a secret to. That's on you on how you want to play with that. But because they are a secret partner, not everybody should know about it.
Okay, then I'm going to argue that Achilles, or however you pronounce it correctly, is also in Lumens Nouveau.
Okay.
But he's not. Yeah, he's doing his own thing.
Doing thing. So Lumens Nouveau is a newer city. It's less than 10 years old, so there is a lot of growth and a lot of reason for people to come to Lumens Nouveau.
Gotcha.
It's one of the if not largest, if not the largest cyberpunk cities in all of DXC.
Okay.
So there would be a good reason for Achilles to come here, without saying, "Oh, I'm following you."
Gotcha.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to get caught up on the text chat. Okay. All right. So that is who that is. The corp exec who betrayed your family and is after you. Do you have any ideas why? Or do you want that to be fleshed out in game? Or do you want some time to think about it?
I'm inclined to just go with he was trying to cover up a mistake he made. Okay. And my family was the fall people, scapegoat.
All right. Okay. And we can talk about what corporate is later.
Okay.
Maybe rather than the corp exec, it's the general of the legion, or whatever the rank structure is. The legion squashed your parents. Okay, so now let's go to stats.
Lay down.
Statistics.
Okay.
So on the character sheet, Anthony averaged everything out, essentially. And once everything is in sixes, you essentially have 2 points to put elsewhere. Anthony put 1 point in intelligence and 1 point in technique.
Yep.
Which is fairly average across the board. By all means, you can move things around as you see fit. If you feel that you want cool to be a little bit higher or willpower to be a little bit higher, you can lower some of the other points if you'd like.
Okay.
It's minimum 2, maximum 8.
Yes.
Okay. Minimum of 2.
Yeah, you can go pretty low.
Jeez, yeah, that's brutal. Okay.
Keeping in mind things like handguns, shoulder weapons, rifles, that kind of stuff, heavy weapons are all reflex. They're based on reflex.
Right.
And body is your strength, but it's also like how healthy you are. So if you're a soldier, you might have your reflex and body a little bit higher. You might have willpower a little bit higher.
And keep in mind
so now, off the top of my head, for net running, it's not based off of any characteristic, right?
It is actually. It's int, I believe.
It is int?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm fine leaving it. I'm going to leave that as 7. My reflexes, so we'll move from tech being 7 to make it 6, and then make reflexes 7. I'm going to decrease empathy by, let's start with 1 and make that 5. And I'm going to decrease luck by 1, make that 5. And I'm going to put cool at 8, actually.
Oh. Not where I thought you were going with that.
Yeah,
interesting.
I know. And then I'm going to actually going to increase dex by 1 more, make that 5, and increase reflexes to 8. So I'm not really a melee person, I'm a ranged person, which makes sense if I'm even in the military, right? Like, I might be tough and physically fit, but like my forte isn't like hand-to-hand combat.
Right.
Tech.
So tech is all of your essentially technical skills that usually use tools and have a specialized form of resources and skills, or resources and abilities. So if you're fixing something, if you're working on something, it's probably tech. I would say like electronic security maybe for you.
I'm trying to keep my interjections to a minimum, but have we worked together at this point, Daniel?
I feel. Oh, sorry.
No.
He's asking you.
Well, no, I was actually asking you because the GM, because that's what I'm trying to suss out, because obviously he would know where some of my strong suits lie if that is the case. But I don't know if you're allowing that or not.
So
I'm not trying to metagame, I'm just trying to figure out what we know about each other, etc. Anthony said the fixer knows.
Hey Naomi, have these two Netrunners worked together before? No. Sorry guys.
All right, no problem. Thanks. That's what I need to know. Bye.
I like it.
I don't know why you let me choose this stuff.
You're the fixer.
I know.
Anthony said to ask you.
Sweet. It worked with me.
It's not my fault, it's Anthony's fault.
Is everyone taking a move of 6 for the most part?
Pretty close to it, yeah. You don't necessarily have to, but as you armor up, it slows you down also.
Okay. I'm gonna take a point off of cool and make that 7 actually, and I'm gonna increase my willpower to 7. And I think, is that right? Is that what I want to do? I'm going to change my body to 5 and make my intelligence 8, and I'm done.
Good choice.
Are you okay, Mark? You feeling okay?
I feel better now.
I'm not sure I'm tracking, but okay.
He said you chose well by upping your intelligence to 8.
Well, that's the maximum I can get it to right now, right? Yeah,
right,
I'm
but
good.
it was at 7 before.
Yep. Yeah, I'm good with this build.
Yeah. Anthony recommends a higher empathy because cyberware is going to hurt you. But that's okay.
Well, I figured... interesting.
Because cyberware takes away from your humanity, which affects your empathy.
Right, well, if I'm honest with you, I assumed already having cyberware was dropping my humanity.
Yeah.
Having been a Netrunner for the military.
Oh, so you're saying you would have already... That's why you have an empathy of 5?
Right.
So...
I've taken a hit.
So fluff-wise, that I like that statement a lot. This cyberware is going to hit you again, but I like that you've been in the military, and to be fair, the military has that effect of lowering someone's humanity anyway.
That was my thought.
Yeah,
that's why I didn't put empathy too high. I figured
I kind of like that. Yeah. Okay, so now we have those, and now we'll do derived statistics. Humanity being your empathy times 10. Your hit points being average of your body and your will plus 10 times something. Anthony's probably shaking his fist at me. 10 plus 5 times the average. The average is, yeah. Which is average right now. 40 is average for everybody.
Okay.
Seriously wounded is half of your hit points. Your death save is equal to your body count. You have to roll under your body in order to not die. So that's not great, but hopefully first aid will help you if people are close enough and stop the bleeding fast enough. All right, looking at skills. All of the skills that are bolded are skills that you have to take at least two ranks in.
Okay.
You have 4 ranks for free in French.
Okay.
You have an additional 60, that's 60 skill points that you can put in any of these skills. The ones that are times 2 cost twice as much because they require more resources and time to learn. And you can only go as high as rank 6 in any of your skills as a starting character. I know that's a lot of rules.
Yes. And I don't have the ability to do the math easily over here.
That's okay. Anthony's really good at that. So, thinking that you are a military person, right?
Right.
We're probably going to want to boost things like perception. So maybe put perception at
2, 3, 4.
4 or 6. What do you think?
Perception, one of the base ones?
It's an awareness. It is a base one. So you already have 2 ranks in it, but being that you were probably trained to pick up on stuff, you might bump that up.
Yep. I'll agree with that.
Do you think maybe 4?
Yep.
Okay. So that's going to be 2 points there. You're going to want some firearm skills, right?
Yes. Where am I?
So under range,
Fighting. Okay.
weapon skills, and
Yep.
fighting skills are going to be how you were trained for that. So handguns and shoulder arms, maybe, unless you were trained with heavy weapons like grenade launchers and Gatling guns.
I'm going with handguns or shoulder arms.
Yeah.
I agree.
So do you have the base level training in those?
So base would be what? 2?
2?
2.
Yeah.
Is that what I come off with automatically?
So you don't get these automatically.
Okay.
Not everybody has training with guns.
I'm gonna go with 3 for handguns and 2 for shoulder arms.
Okay. So another option there is auto fire. It costs twice as much, but those are for like your auto fire rifles.
I'm gonna hold off on that for now. Let's work
Okay.
on the other stuff first.
So you have 2 ranks of brawling and evasion because everyone's gotten into a couple fights in their life. That's what they're assuming. So those could easily be things that you learned in basic, like just training.
I'm gonna take another point in evasion.
Okay, another point in evasion.
How many points do I have left at this point?
52.
Okay.
Are you counting French or not counting French?
I'm not counting French because French is free.
That is not what I have for him. He spent 34 right now without French on my count.
He spent 2 in perception. He spent 5 between shoulder arms and handgun. He spent 1 in evasion.
Yep.
That's it.
Which brings him to 34. Let me redo it again. 2 plus 4 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus.
I have 52. Continue. Mark is doing math to make sure my math is right, which is probably good since I've only had 2 hours of sleep.
Yeah, 34 spent, 52 left. Yep.
Yep. Alright, so stealth maybe? Resist torture and drugs maybe? Endurance maybe?
Interrogation maybe?
Interrogation maybe?
I'm gonna go with interrogation. That was one of the ones I was looking at.
Okay, how many do you think?
3 points in interrogation.
3 points in 3? Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with 2 points in human perception.
Okay. And you know what that is, right?
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
2 points in first aid. I'm going to put another 2 points in weapons tech.
That's a good one. I hadn't considered that one. I think you're the only one that took that. To be able to clean your weapons and repair your weapons.
I should hope that I know a little bit about that.
Do you have any driving skills? Drive land vehicle, air vehicle, water vehicle? Any of the resist torture / drugs or endurance?
Where is that resist torture?
That is under body skills.
Okay.
First column, second block down.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, I'm gonna put 2 points into the resist torture and drugs. I'm gonna put a point into endurance as well. And then I'm gonna put 2 points in drive land vehicles. And where am I at left? Or what do I have left?
48 spent, 38 left.
I'm going to put 2 points in bureaucracy. And another 2 points in criminology. I'm going to put 4 points in deduction. I'm going to put 2 points in education. And 3 points in tactics. I'm building this character with not knowing whether or not the build is actually going to be useful.
The only one thing I would recommend is perhaps a point or two in cyber tech.
Oh, yeah.
The same way that you've taken your weapons tech, you're going to need to be able to do your hacking.
We'll put 2 points in cyber tech right now, yeah. Of course. That makes sense.
Anthony is suggesting or recommending your A gun skill at 6. Because so far you're one of the only people with gun skills. And maybe you are well trained in one of your gun skills.
Okay.
You don't have to.
No, that it makes sense, right? I'm gonna stick with. So how many points do I have left?
You're sitting at 63 spent and 23 remaining.
I'm going to, and handgun and shoulder arms are both at 2. Is that right?
Negative.
Handguns at 3.
So we'll make another 3 points in handgun and another point in shoulder arms.
Mm-hmm. Are you sure you don't want him though?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where these pieces go.
I'm going to put another point in evasion.
Anthony's asking if you want anything in body skills further, like
Tracking, concentration, conceal or reveal object, like concealing a handgun under your clothing.
How many points do I have left?
68 spent, and I believe 20 points. Is that right? 20 points remaining? No, 18 points remaining.
18, you said? I'm going to put 4 points in concentration. How many points do I have in evasion?
You have 4 points in evasion right now.
Okay, could I add 2 points to perception then?
Okay.
And okay, give me a second. I've got, is it like 14 points left now?
Yes. And then
Anthony says 12.
Oh, 12 points. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, 12 points. Looked at it wrong. Are you good at you have 2 in conversation? Are you good at talking to people? Are you bad at talking to people? Do you know anything about the streets?
Conversation, streetwise.
Where? Oh, right. Streetwise, I'll take 2. Yeah, I'll take 2 points in streetwise. I was going to increase cyber tech to 4.
I'm gonna have to take a Zoom
Okay.
call in the car
Okay.
for our meeting.
All right.
And then increase weapons tech to 4.
Okay.
Sure.
So I'm thinking we'll get up a little bit early.
And that puts me at what, like 8 points left or less?
Mm-hmm.
Out. Maybe you can help me. Just do the
6.
boxes and Dawn's room.
6 points.
And do the Christmas tree box. That's not happy.
Oh, I can
We
do that.
want to save that one.
We gotta put stuff in the crowds anyways.
Okay. I'm so excited.
Okay.
And I put another
Love
2
you.
points in athletics.
And the pup is coming. Oh boy. Ah.
So I should have had a point put in shoulder arms. It's saying 3, but right? I was increasing. They were both at 3 before, and then I moved.
No,
shoulder
shoulder arms was at 2.
Okay,
Yeah.
then yeah, sorry. Then it's still just 3. Then apologize. What do I have left then?
You don't have anything in bribery, personal grooming, wardrobe and style.
Yeah, these are things that
I
are.
think you've got 4 left.
Yeah. I was being facetious.
Oh, I see. Anthony's suggesting land vehicle tech, or perhaps do you have bartering or trading or anything like that? Would that
don't.
make sense for your character?
With how many points left? 6
4.
or 4? So I could put a point into land, 1 point into land vehicle tech, 2 points into trading, and I'm going to put 1 additional point into endurance. And we shall see how this all plays out for me.
So, we have now, well, we're working on a 4th character, but we've essentially built 4 characters
Mm-hmm.
for 4 players. And each one has been very, very different and unique on how
Well-
you show skills and how you show his abilities. I like that.
Jack of all trades, master of none.
Yeah, I kind of like that. But it also makes sense for your background, right? I mean, you were
Yes.
trained. Unlike some of the other stories where, like, Mark's character was a netrunner who grew up, like, around electronics and learning that stuff, your character was taught a bunch of different things across the gamut. So yeah, you may not have numbers as high in some areas, but you're the jack of all trades, many trades.
Yeah, we'll see how it works out, eh? Okay.
All right. So with that being skills, we are going to move on to equipment. So that starts off on page 91
Okay.
for weapons, and we are going to turn my sheet over. You have 2550 in eddies, which are Eurobucks. You have 800 that can be spent on a different budget that can be spent on fashion or fashion wear, which is cyberware that makes you look pretty. Not really, but we'll get there. And then, because pretty much everyone else who's gone so far has selected, there is a sellout option. And it essentially, it means that your character on the down and out signed up with a third party that has supplied them with cybertech. For you, what that might mean is that secretly or not secretly, the U.S. government essentially bought you on contract, changed out some of your cyberware, and put you in Lumen's Nouveau to do missions for them if they ask. So you're essentially a corp sellout. You're even a corporate sellout, or you are part of the mob, or you work with the military. There is the Joint Base Lafayette on the map.
Okay.
You don't necessarily have to tell people that that's what you're part of, but when the corp or when the mill star comes knocking, you've got to kind of do what they want.
And what's the benefit? Like more money?
So it gives you, right now you have 2,550 to spend on weapons, armor, cyberware, your programs, your everything, right? You have 800 to spend on clothes, pretty much just clothes. This nets you an additional 1,500 in just cyberware and a free neural implant.
How much would that stuff cost me otherwise?
So most of the bigger cyber tech costs 500. So like your neural implant, which you need for being a Netrunner, costs 500. And the cyber deck that you need to buy in order to access the net with your neural interface costs an additional 500, I think. And so that right there is almost a third of your budget.
Right.
Just on just on that cyberware. And it doesn't have to be the U.S. government that you sold out to. We have a couple different people who are attached to corporations. We have one that's attached to the mob.
It could even be the government of the South.
It could even be Dixie. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I will tell you that having gone through this with my character, I highly recommend you to sell out.
Really? Because I was about to say, like, my character, the way I've constructed my character, he is not really into selling out at all.
You don't
like,
have
the thing
to.
I value the most is myself.
Yep.
And, like, the whole idea was to be self-reliant. So I guess
try buying what you want without selling out.
Yeah.
And then see if you are where you want to be, and then kind of make that decision. Because the net running stuff is very, very expensive.
Yeah, this is inconvenient. So,
well, to be fair, for story, it's convenient because it gives me more plot hooks and story hooks to push you guys in different directions. And it is a bleak dystopian future.
Yeah, that's true too.
So for you, I absolutely understand why you wouldn't want your character to go in that direction. But I agree with Mark and Anthony, who said the same. Let's see what you can get with the 25.5 that you have already.
Okay, so let's start with the things I have to have, which is the Netrunner stuff.
Right. So your neural link is 500 eddies.
Where do you see that? Like, I'm trying to
Sorry,
find.
I've been bouncing back and forth a lot. So it's on page 112.
Okay, that's way down there.
Yeah, is where you find the neural where.
Gotcha.
And all of the expansions that you can put into that neural link. But
so you're saying what's the first thing I need to have? You said the
neural link.
Okay. All right. I see it
and
now.
So now you bought that. That's 500 eddies, right?
Okay.
And which, by the way, so it's EB, which is Eurobucks, but we found out by playing Cyberpunk 2077 that they're called that one of the nicknames for them is eddies. So I'll probably be calling them that.
Okay. Okay. So Neuralink is a required thing.
Neuralink is required. That's the only piece of cyberware besides implant plugs that is required.
Where's the implant plugs?
The implant plugs. Actually, you don't even need implant plugs. Never mind. Mark has them, and I'll talk to him about that in a second because I was rereading it and he doesn't need them either, but he can use them and there's a difference there. Link. Where are you? Okay. So a cyber deck, just a normal cyber deck, is also 500 eddies for a standard cyber deck.
Do you want me
to
talk
is
about the
that
difference between the decks?
So that is on. Oh, where did I just go? That was on gear, which was it 112? Okay, so the list of gear is on page 100. That's just the random gear.
Right.
The cyber deck information is on 353.
Jesus.
Yeah. So there are a couple different 353. Okay. So or 354 on the PDF, but 353 on the page. There are a couple of different versions of cyber decks. So you have a excellent quality cyber deck, a poor quality cyber deck, and a standard quality cyber deck.
And the difference between them is the number of hardware and software programs that you can run in them. So if you want to be able to do more, then you might lean towards the excellent one, which is twice the price of the standard one.
Wait, so it would be 1,000 eddies instead of 500.
Correct. But it gives you 2 more slots, if I remember correctly. So you'd have 9 slots for programs and hardware versus the 7 in a standard.
Or the 5 in a poor quality, which would be half the price of the standard quality.
Let me see if I can get to the page that actually has the cost for that.
And that does require interface plugs, by the way.
So,
it says right in the description for the cyber decks.
Oh yeah, totally does. Oh, I misread. You're right. I'm wrong. Absolutely.
It's not about
because
that.
I was thinking. I was thinking.
Like, yeah, I get money back.
I was thinking interface plugs were the plugs that you pull out to plug into other things. Interface plugs are the exterior ports on the neural interface.
Yep.
You don't have interface plugs, then it's just a piece of metal in your skull.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I was wrong.
So you probably have to find out how much those cost too.
Okay, so a poor quality cyber deck is 100. A standard is 500, and excellent is 1,000.
Okay.
Yeah, the net running stuff can be pricey because you also need, unless you get cyber eyes, you also need virtuality goggles or smart glasses with special cyberware to be able to see the net.
Okay. So my initial reaction, if I'm going to keep this at an appropriate level, is I'm going to dodge the excellent quality for now
Okay.
and stick with a standard quality. So I'm 500 down for the CyberDeck, 500 down for the Neuralink, right?
Yep. And 500 for the interface plugs. So you're down 1,500.
So where's the interface plugs?
So interface plugs are underneath Neuralink on page 353.
Okay. 353.
Nope,
Interface
not 353.
plugs.
Not 353. I was way off. 359. 359 is neural wear, stuff that gets installed on a neural link. And so
359.
interface plugs, which allow you to plug in CyberDecks and the like, are 500. Of note, interface plugs also let you plug into smart guns, heavy machinery, and drive vehicles with no hands. So for a military operator, interface plugs make way more sense.
Yep. Okay. All right. So there's another.
So
500.
that at minimum right now you have the bare minimum, well, and the visuality goggles unless you get Cyber Eyes.
How much for Cyber Eyes is 100?
Cyber Eyes is
100.
Per eye. So it would be 200. Well, I guess you could have. Hold on 1 second. I'm seeing. Oh wow, that's actually okay. So, yeah, I was just about to say, Anthony. Thank you. So on page 361
Yep.
is the virtuality, which is a Cyber Eye option that allows you to put cyberspace imagery over the view of the world, which is what I was talking about before. You have to have 2 eyes, and they have to be paired. So technically, you would get Cyber Eyes with virtuality for 400, which is cheaper than the smart glasses.
So I'm following. So question.
Yes.
I'm looking at the humanity loss.
Yeah.
So right now you're saying I'm already. What? Where would I be at if I put Cyber Eyes in?
All right, so Cyber Eyes, so Neuralink is -7, interface plug is -7, left Cyber Eye is -7, right Cyber Eye is -7. Adding virtuosity, I don't.
So you don't get banned for life from Twitch.
4.
2.
So 4 because it's 2 per.
Yep.
So a lot. You would be starting off when you got to Lumens Nouveau. You would need to start therapy soon. So here's how it works, right? You take this big number, which is 14, 28, 29, 31, it's like 32, right? From your overall humanity, knocking your empathy down. So for a lot of reasons, when you arrive at Lumens Nouveau, you don't have a lot of humanity left. You could argue it's probably because your girlfriend mysteriously vanished and you chased her here. Girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. Your partner.
Yep.
And
It's a girlfriend.
Okay.
Just make it easy.
You chased her. You heard that this might have been one of the places that she disappeared to, or arrived at mysterious, whatever. However, we figure it out, right? And that took a hit on your humanity as well. So you seek out someone who can help you work through it. You will never be back up to max humanity.
Was that the chick you were with?
But
before?
you will only. Is it
Oh,
2,
for some
Anthony?
reason-
You suffer 2
I
for
thought I
each
saw something that said you guys
cyber
weren't together anymore,
cyber
so I
hit
wasn't-
instead of the
Okay.
whatever it is, 2 or 3.
Oh, maybe that's what it was.
I think it's 2.
Okay.
But
No
so
problem.
so right now you're at 28 humanity.
Well, that's good.
Out of 50
We're down. No, that's never
with this stuff,
problem.
assuming you get it.
No,
28 out of 50.
Her job, but then,
With
her job is
therapy,
basically go
you
for
could be
any
down
work from
to.
home from here
Can you
on
scroll down,
until
Anthony?
who knows when.
Right.
And then so she's like, oh,
One,
well,
two,
then I
three,
want to
four,
stay in
five,
Tahoe.
six.
And then I was like,
6
well,
times
I'm
2
tired
is
of driving
12.
Tahoe to Reno.
You would be down
Back and
to
forth. Why don't we just
like
stay in
38
Tahoe? And then her
versus 28.
grandparents owned a cabin in Tahoe City. And
How does that
we
work?
just got permission
So
to say that we
you
could stay
instead of suffering 7 for each hit,
Mhm.
for each thing that causes humanity loss, you
Right.
suffer 2, and that 2 is permanent.
And they were like, yeah, no, go ahead and stay there.
So
As
you'll
opposed to these 7 being permanent?
as opposed to the 7 being permanent, yeah. But
That's
it's
awesome.
2 for each thing. So right now you have 7 for the neural interface. You have 7.
How
for
much
the
does that
antennas.
therapy cost?
Good thing you rebuilt it.
That depends on what Anthony charges you, because he's a med tech and can do therapy,
So we're
and has said that it's not going to be free.
Yep,
course
that
it's
makes
not.
total sense.
And we just got the permission now. So if
It might be favors, I don't know. But that's part of why I set up a calendar. I actually set up a Google Calendar for our group so that we can track rent. We can track
I'm in
different
Vegas.
mission items. We can track different holidays. We can track therapy, because you have to
Yeah,
be in therapy
nope,
a certain
we're
amount
here
of time.
in Vegas,
Wounds
now
don't heal
in,
overnight, so you have to be resting
and
a
you
certain
can come and
amount.
visit.
So it will help us keep
Yes,
track
and you
of a
can
lot
come
of
and
things, I
visit,
think, between
and we will take your temperature at the door and make
therapy
you
means one dedicated
And
week
if
where
you
you
have
do
a
nothing else
fever, then we'll
but
kick your ass out.
one-on-one therapy.
No, same over here.
Yeah.
We're like, sorry.
Okay.
Cannot
So then,
Yeah, because
follow-on
Lexi has no
question
immune
would
system, so
be-
we have been very careful.
I got
I
very
work-
picky
those too.
about that.
That's what he
So,
said.
yeah.
That's exactly how my mom is.
if I were to take the virtuality goggles or whatever,
Yes.
how much does that cost?
Yep.
Okay, so if you took the virtuality goggles instead, it is
So Lauren doesn't leave the house, and whenever I do, I make
think
sure
it's
to be safe when I do, and I hand
One second.
sanitize everything.
virtuality.
Because I mean,
goggles.
like, if I had like a helmet, you know how you have like NVG on a helmet, you could just have that on a helmet and slide
I
it
will
down
do so.
to engage, yeah?
I will do so.
And you are going to
I'd
have
love
a
to go
helmet
there
because armor
when COVID
needs a
starts
helmet.
to
Okay.
Lift.
I might just stick with that for now.
Something.
And that-
Something.
I don't care. I was like, if they want to
Yeah.
give me money and I get a vaccine and I can go back to concerts and drinking at
100?
bars with people, like, please, just please. I miss touching people
Right.
in all the wrong and
Oh yeah, virtuality goggles are 100.
So
Okay.
I
So that is
I am
both
obliged
cheaper
to ask.
And
Tomorrow
saves
night
me
we're going to be
in
discussing
humanity by a
CyberPunk
lot.
and all the
For
stuff
now,
that
yeah,
dropped
unless
today.
unless we find
Would
something
you-
else in humanity that you want, in Cyberwave that you want. Okay, but for gear, let's go ahead and get rid of the Cyber Eyes, and we'll put the VR glasses up there
7.
for gear, but
Oh,
not in the
it's
same pod,
it's okay. It's 7,
just in case.
but it's really 7:15.
And so now we can talk armor.
Yeah, nothing has changed. I mean,
it
it's
doesn't matter
the
how
start time
overlapping
is
your
listed
armor
on the
is, you
site
only
as
get the benefit
7:15.
of one
I try and get all the
reason I
cats
say
wrangled
this
by
is
7
because there
so
is
that we
a
can go
special
through
type
whatever
of
technical
skin suit
challenges are going to
with
present themselves for
impact
that evening,
absorbing
and hopefully start by 7:50.
sintered
Yes.
armor gel layered in key body areas that also stores your cyber deck and supports your interface plugs. It is a bodyweight suit. That's what Bishop is running. It goes underneath your clothing and it has a stopping power of 11, which is the same as a light armor jack, but it's very expensive. It gives you more hardware spaces
You know, you can
for your cyber deck.
you can use your
So
phone,
right now you
Yeah,
have
yeah, phone or iPad.
7?
Yeah, that all works.
Because I would love to be part of this discussion. Thank you guys so much.
And it would allow you to get up to 9, I think. If you wanted to go that route. There's also, I'm on page
So the
97.
only thing that I have
Yep,
to do,
there.
I don't have to
Okay. There's also medium armor jack, heavy armor jack, flak, etc. Depending on how armored you wanted to get.
some things.
Um,
And I'm gonna pick up some
for
things
what
over
you're
in
doing.
Reno to bring over in Tahoe.
Hey, did the guy that works with my brother ever reach out to you?
So
did
I'm
the
going to click on
guy
that
that
page
works with my
350
brother
to see
George
what the
ever
benefits
reach
of
out
the
to
body
you?
weight suit actually are.
I linked you on one of his posts because he's a beer collector too in Illinois. So I'll ping George and tell him you should reach out to him.
Reach out because I have been.
Oh, it adds
blessed with people like
one hardware option slot to the CyberDeck connected to it, not 2.
Oh, okay. So I would go from 7 to 8. But I also bust my Yeah, you said 2550, right?
Yep.
So technically I'm already at greater than.
Yeah. So you could go armor. Armor is significantly cheaper. Light armor jack has the same stopping power. You'd have to buy it twice because you buy it for the light armor jacket, which also could be leather pants and leather jacket, whatever. Which has like a Kevlar plastic mesh in it.
Right.
And the helmet, because you would need a helmet. You can get your brain can get damaged. Depending on what the rolls are, and so armor is usually bought with a helmet and a body. It does
I'd
not
have to pay 200 for helmet and armor.
Yes.
Okay.
So you would buy the helmet and you would buy the armor.
And then for the bodyweight suit, you have to buy the bodyweight suit plus a helmet.
So the bodyweight suit is unlike the others, where it comes with a helmet, but you have to. It's essentially not a helmet. It's a thing that you cover your head.
Okay.
The way I like to think of it is like one of those Halloween spandex suits.
Yep.
With a face cut out.
Let's start with the lightweight armor jacket plus the helmet.
Okay.
Let's see where that takes me.
Okay.
Can I upgrade this armor later on?
Yeah. You could even possibly find it later on baddies and have it repaired. You absolutely can. All right, so let's start you off there. That's fine. And we will go back to weapons because we still haven't bought you weapons.
Okay.
And that is going to be page 94.
Hold on a second. Page 94. Okay.
Yeah, that is kind of what it comes down to. It's 100 eddies for 2 light armor jacket with SP11, or 1,000 eddies for an SP11 with 1 free hardware slot. It's true.
Sorry, say that again.
So Anthony's putting the options down, and it's 100 eddies times 2 for a light armor jacket with SP11, or stopping power 11, or 1,000 eddies for an SP11 with 1 free hardware slot.
Right.
Since you're going with the cheaper Cyberdeck, it would be 1,000 for you to go with the higher Cyberdeck, and you would still have enough left over to get your armor by saving it. Yeah. So, if you were going to be spending that money anyway. However, if you want the extra hardware slot and you are a pacifist hacker, then that fits. Those options fit. Okay, so weapons.
So, what am I at money-wise right now? 300 down plus 15, so that's 1,800. I've got 450 left. Is it 2550 or 2250?
2550.
Oh, well, never mind. I've got more than that. I've got 750 left.
Yep. You have some left.
So I'm going to go with a heavy pistol.
Okay. A heavy pistol or a very heavy pistol?
I'm going to go with the one that can be concealed.
Very heavy, heavy is 100.
Yep.
Anthony's typing something. Okay. And do you want an assault rifle?
I'm trying to choose between assault rifle and sniper rifle.
Ooh.
And was there anything left for me to pick from? So heavy pistols, I said 750 is what I had left. So I would be spending, if I picked up a sniper rifle or something like that, that would be 600. I'd have 150 left over.
Which could cover basic ammunition and basic gear, because you still have some basic gear. You don't have an agent, like your hand computer, your cell phone, which is 100 by itself. You don't have any additional gear.
You know what? Let's hold off then on the assault rifle shenanigans or sniper rifle, and just stick with a heavy pistol for now.
Okay.
Okay.
So moving down the rack to page 100.
Okay.
Oh, actually, shoot! If Mark was here, he would have slapped me on the wrist. Damn it! Because we talked neuroware, we talked cyberware, we did not talk programs.
Do we need it? We need to buy those as well?
Yep.
I won't have anything from my previous life.
No. You dropped everything. Spend a week doing nothing else in the
Okay. So where do I go for the cyberware?
Oh, he's rolling up how therapy works. Because everybody needs it. Everybody in this group needs it. Except for Naomi, but that's just because her character's not done yet.
Everybody in this room needs what?
Everybody's going to need therapy because everybody has cyberware that's hurting their humanity.
Gotcha.
And she can only do one-on-one with one of you every week. So it's going to take a while getting through your guys' humanity loss. Yeah. I think it's 393. Nope. I'll get there. Sorry. There's so much back and forth. I was up until... you missed the funny story, but I got 2077 yesterday.
How was it?
Amazing. It's really good. But I don't get excited about video games. I just don't. Role-playing games, tabletop, yeah, sure. But I just don't get excited about video games, except for this one, because I've been a CyberPunk fan for a while, like a good long while. We were looking for programs for net running.
Page 110?
No. They are further up. Wait, what? Is that what I cover? 368.
Jesus, that's way down there.
Yeah. She said, just go and play, and just make sure you come back because I want you sleeping in bed. I don't want you sleeping on the couch. And I said, okay, cool. So I get a text, and I look down, and I see what time it is, and she said, hey, are you still up? And I texted back, ... maybe.
Question.
And it made and closed everything down and went to bed because I didn't realize it was nearly 4 a.m. And I got back up at 7:30.
One of us.
Okay, what page did you say it was again?
368.
Oh, I stopped way too early.
So this has some of the cyber deck hardware that you can use to update your cyber deck. Remember how you have 7 slots?
Yep.
You can use these 7 slots to put hardware in or copies of your program. And the program will say, if you can have multiple copies of it, loaded. So that you can run them, right? Now, one of the weird, cool things about cyberware and programs and the like is how they work and what they're focused on. But if you look, most of them are pretty cheap, but some of them add up. Your black ices add up very, very fast. Your top end anti-program, anti-personnel stuff can get expensive. But that's what you're looking at, right? So starting on page 368.
Yep.
1 dash for hardware, 2 for software. I don't know what that means.
That's a Anthony note.
Oh, okay.
So let's say I've got seven. Oh, my CyberDeck's at 7, so that means I can choose 7 programs.
You could have 7 programs in there. You could have a, depending on what hardware you wanted to add, you could have hardware in there, like a backup drive, a DNA lock, hardened circuitry, crash barrier. I'm actually going to hand this off to Mark because he purchased certain things for his, and while you guys haven't run together, I still want you to be effective.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So there's a staggering number of choices here. And the short answer is that there's... have you read the section about net running and basically how it works?
I've read some of it, not the entire thing. Okay.
The easiest way to think about it is you're playing a video game in which it's... have you ever played Persona or any kind of RPG like that?
Yes.
Okay. So you've got a level, right? You go down to the first level. There's stuff on that level, but eventually you got to get to the elevator at the end to go down to the next level.
Right.
And you don't know how many levels there are in most cases, but there are things that attack you on each level.
Right.
And those are usually either daemon programs or black ice. And so there becomes a choice as to, do you want stuff to protect yourself or do you want stuff to go on the offense or a mix of both? And then there's stuff that only affects netrunners as well. And there's stuff that protects you from netrunners. So basically you've got to kind of figure out what your general vibe is. You know, are you someone who goes in and can attack anyone but it totally sucks on defense? Or are you more rounded? That kind of gives you an idea of what programs to look for. For mine,
Gotcha.
I'm not a pacifist. I would fit more under the hacktivist kind of background that you guys were looking at earlier. And so my guy, and kind of what I said, PvE. I'm good at taking care of the automated programs, the black ices. But I like have nothing against other netrunners for the most part. I have 1 or 2 things that I can do, but most of mine is defensive. So I have a couple hardware slots in mine that makes it so that I can't forcibly be jacked out of the system. Or if anytime one of my programs gets destroyed, it gets automatically written to a backup drive. So I'm never going to lose that program, if that makes sense. Yep. I've got other ones to help me be faster when I'm plugged into the net.
Gotcha.
I've got stuff that, like, you know, that's basically the type of stuff that I took. That doesn't mean that's what you need to take. But what do you think? Do you want to be more aggressive, more defensive, more towards people, or more towards black ice and programs?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I am thinking a combination here.
Okay. So the one that I will probably recommend, if you can afford it, because I don't know, I had to step away and I'm not sure how much you have left on your list.
Not much.
Okay. Speedy Gonzalez, a lot of stuff is based off of speed checks.
Okay.
And it gives you a speed check across the board, and it's just 1 slot. Nice, simple, and there you go. But that's also 100 EB. So that's where it's like...
Goes up quick.
Yeah.
Okay. So all right. So I'll go ahead and go with Speedy Gonzalez. Start with 1. That's 1 out of 7.
Correct.
Okay. From a black ice perspective,
From black... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to go with Asp and Raven.
Okay, you'll have to let him know what those do so that he can plug
Gotcha.
those in.
It's just one of each, though, right?
Does it say it takes up 2 slots?
Oh, shit. Where does it say that?
If it does, it will say it right after the name. What page are you on? Sorry, and I can.
I'm on page 371. I don't see it taking up 2 slots.
But it may not. So give me one. 370.
So 370 towards the bottom, Asp is the first black ice, and then page 371, Raven is another black ice.
Oh yeah, black ice. Any black ice program is automatically 2 slots.
Okay. So then let's think about that, because that takes up a little bit more than I wanted. I'm going to go with Raven then.
Okay.
I'll be the only one for that. What the hell just happened?
So that one costs 50 EBs.
So my...
And it dereses a single defender program, then does 1d6 brain damage.
Right. Can you help me out? What page is that again?
That is on page 371.
Okay. This thing just randomly jumped it. Okay, that's 371. All right.
Yep.
So it leaves me with 4 more slots. And I'm going to go back to some basic stuff here.
I found
Pathfinder?
that...
Go ahead.
Nope,
I was just going to see you.
Yeah, those are good. This is the problem, is there's a lot of really good options.
So I'm going to go with the see you one.
All right, so that's a booster. Pathfinder checks are +2, and that's 20 EB. Okay, we got that.
Pathfinder is that's the one that allows me to see, like, what am I trying to say? Check that, like, map, see how far or how. Yes.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes, that's correct.
If I use these programs, these programs remain an option no matter what, right?
So, that's a very good question. The short answer is most of them, you run it, right? And it's running until something happens.
Can I restart it?
You can restart it, but it will take an action.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that's where, and I don't know if you talked about this with Daniel earlier, with the Interface 4 ability, that gives you 3 net running actions per turn.
Okay. Wait,
So
sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to ask you what you were saying there about the 3 net running actions per turn.
Yeah, so let's say that there's a terminal, right? And we've infiltrated a building and we're going to hack in, right? So whereas most of the people that are in physical space only get 1 action, we get 1 meet action and 3 net running actions.
And that's based on what?
That's based on our interface level of 4. And so the
Okay.
higher our interface level goes, the more we get the more actions we get in cyberspace. So, for example, if you wanted to load your black ice, that's 1 action. If you wanted to do you wanted to load the Pathfinder Assist boost, that's a 2nd action. And then if you wanted to do pathfinding as your 3rd action, there's your 3 actions for the turn.
Gotcha.
And you can't do anything until next turn.
So explain this one thing here to me. So looking at the Defender's flak, it says reduces the attack of all non-black ice attacker programs run against you to 0 as long as the program remains rezzed. So that's as long as the program's running?
So res is like hit points.
Yeah. So basically it has a res of 7, right? So let's say they attack you with something that does 6 damage. Great. You still got one left on it. No problem. It's still running and can absorb the next blow. However, the next time they hit you and it goes to 0 or less, it is now off. It's basically inert. It's no longer working.
Okay. So then, for example, like the one above it, it says lowers all brain damage. Is that different from the res damage?
Yes, because normally the res damage is a program attacking a program, right?
Okay.
And so you'll notice that on Flak specifically, it says you can only have one copy running, and each copy of this program can only be used once per net run. So once it's down, unless you have a second version of Flak, you're not going to be able to restart it.
Gotcha.
And as far as the armor goes, that's actually a really good one I was going to point out. You remember your Black Ice that you bought, the Raven?
Yep.
It de-reses one program and then does 1d6 brain damage, right? So
Yep.
the armor would reduce your any brain damage that you receive by 4. So if they
Gotcha.
rolled a 6, you'd only take 2 points of brain damage.
You being
Unless
the Netrunner.
that, right? Unless that was a program that was de-resed.
Correct.
Okay.
You got it. If all you're running is armor and they have Raven and they cast Raven on you, it's going to de-res your armor program and you're going to take 1d6 brain damage.
Gotcha. Okay.
Daniel has been itching to kill people in cyberspace for a while now, so
You'll have your opportunity, sounds like.
I'm glad there's 2 of you.
I'm going to stick then with... I'm going to go with... Shit, which one am I going to go with? 5, 4, 3. I'm going to go with armor.
that's 50 EB.
Yep. And that leaves me 2 more.
Now, can I make a slight suggestion?
Sure.
So, shield is 20 EB, and it stops all brain damage.
For one attack, yeah?
Yes, the first successful attack.
So, like, I don't... So here's the thing, right? Like, I have no idea...
Yeah, me either.
Like, how much damage does it do? Like, if the res is 7...
So the res is only if the program attacks your program, right? So that's the kicker. We don't know exactly what we're getting into in terms of how things are going to attack us, but they're most likely going to be on the Black Ice list attacking us.
So then, to me, it makes more sense to have Flak then, because it reduces all damage to me to 0 as long as the program's running.
From a non-Black Ice attacker program.
Right.
It's the same for Flak and Shield.
That's
They're
true.
both all first successful non-black. So if they're attacking me and not the program, then Flak effectively would continue running until they start attacking the program.
That is true.
So I'm gonna go. So then Flak to me makes the most sense.
Perfect.
All right,
So Flak instead of armor or in addition to armor?
Flak instead of armor.
Okay. Armor defends Black Ice, Flak defends from non-Black Ice, right?
Okay, now I'm looking at the attacking options.
So I think Flak reduces the attack to 0,
Oh,
but
It
it
does.
still rolls a d10.
what rolls a d10?
Isn't the attack, you take your attack and add it to the d10?
Stand by 1. That running. $195.
Yeah, your interface plus the program attack plus 1d10, or Black Ice attack plus 1d10 versus target's interface plus 1d10, or program's defense slash Black Ice defense plus 1d10.
Yeah.
So while Flak lowers the attack value to 0, it's still a d10 to try to hit you, whereas the shield completely stops the attack. No, I'm not saying one over the other. I'm just saying that's the difference.
Okay.
Right.
Because it seemed like they were like, why would there even be two of these?
All right.
I might still even use Flak just because it's multiple use.
Right.
Anthony's suggesting run both armor and flak.
That's exactly what I was looking at.
Might I also suggest, I don't know how much money you have left, but you may sincerely want to look at hardware slots as well.
I have no idea what you're talking about, Mark. I'm not going to set him on fire.
Hardware slots? Does that take one of the 7?
It sure does.
Okay.
Wait, did you buy a bodyweight suit or no?
No.
Okay.
So is this the stuff like the stuff above it, like backup drive?
Yep.
Yes.
Crash barrier.
Hardware, all of this?
Yeah.
Yep. Like insulated wiring so you can't catch fire. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, this is kind of what I was alluding to. You have zero. You have zero attack programs right now.
Yeah, that's what I was looking
Well, Raven. At. He has Raven.
Wait, yeah, and also I haven't decided yet on Flak. I don't know yet if I was going to choose Flak.
No problem. We're not rushing you.
Yeah.
Does Raven work for both? Let's read it. Anti-personnel Black Eye de-res is a single defender program the enemy Netrunner has resed.
Yeah, defender program, not attacker program or anything else. You can't do anything against those. And while you guys might be dealing in together, there isn't a rule yet that I've seen on how that would go. On how multiple Netrunners log into the same space and travel the same elevator together. I haven't seen any rules on that at all.
That would suck if we have to do it individually.
Yeah.
Yeah. One I might recommend that you consider is Sword. I believe it's
I was looking at that. There's no difference.
It works on both Black Ice and non-Black Ice.
Yeah, no, I was looking at what was different between Sword and Banhammer. One does 3d6 to Black Ice, 2d6 to non-Black Ice. The other one does 3d6 to non-Black Ice and 2d6 to Black Ice. I see what the difference between the two is now. Okay. Wow, these Black Ice programs have a lot more res, though, don't they?
Yes, they do.
They're meant to be your lieutenants or bosses.
I'm going to go with the Sword for sure. That makes the most sense.
What page? Oh, there it is. So it's 50 EV
50.
And does 3d6 to Black Ice, 2d6 to non-Black Ice.
That's right.
One attack. Now, if you keep FLAC, then you have no slots for hardware ones.
Yeah, I'm trying to decide if at this point it makes sense to even have a black ice. Like, they seem to be powerful and they'll last longer than the other programs. I'm just not sure it makes sense right now. All right, let's take a look at what kind of hardware there is. This cyberware stuff there's a bunch of pages of it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's one of those sections that you also really kind of have to read through, because some of the strategies and stuff that I have for you and you have for me are kind of important in there. In that, like, if you slide away from some of these ice, they don't follow you, and they have to be turned off and on again in order to come searching for you again.
Right.
And same for you, for your black ice. If I have an enemy netrunner that slides away or that hides or uses some of these other programs, you have to turn things off and turn them back on or whatever.
A question for you, Daniel, that I actually just thought of now. Let's say that we have Raven Black Ice, right? And it's derezzed.
What page are you on?
Raven is on 207.
Okay.
So, through whatever means necessary, the Raven gets killed or derezzed at 15, right? Takes 16 damage, derezzes. That does not destroy it, correct? Unless something specifically says it destroys the program. Like, we could reboot that, since it doesn't say once per net run.
Oh. Black ice is deadly. But these programs, you can choose to load your deck with non-demon black ice, but these programs are much larger and will use 2 slots in your deck.
Yeah, we've already accounted for that.
Okay.
But my question is more just like if it gets defeated somehow and derezzed, it's not destroyed and we have to buy it again. It's just a matter of us rebooting it with an action, correct? Or loading it again with an action because it doesn't say once per net run?
Yeah, I think you can. I'm reading up on it again.
Run it by you again?
No, I'm
reading. Reading. Sorry. Misunderstood what you said.
No, you're good. Okay, a program is derezzed when it's lowered to 0 hit points or 0 res, does not remove it from your deck or the net architecture. The program is still considered to be running, it just has been hobbled to the point of uselessness. In order to get it back to full res and operating condition, you have to spend 2 net actions, 1 to deactivate it and 1 to activate it again. Attack programs are an exception. They are activated when making an attack and, once used, automatically deactivate themselves, like a sword.
Oh, or
like unless of course the program was destroyed, in which case it is 100% erased and no longer res. You will need to buy a new one. You don't have to hold a funeral, but you could.
Yeah, no, my question was for derezzing. So, how does that work as a black ice then? I activate it. It appears, it does its derez a single defender program the enemy netrunner has, res at random, deals its 1d6 damage, and then deactivates itself?
Nope, and then sits there.
Oh, it sits there.
Because I'm saying attack programs. Sword, I think Sword is one of them.
Yeah. Because
Banhammer is one of them.
it has a res of 0. I see.
Yeah, so it's only out for like the one action. Your Hellhounds and your Wisps and your Ravens, they stay out. They will do their 2 actions that turn.
Yeah, and then do them again next turn.
And then do them again next turn. Yeah.
If I take an action to have them do it, or do they do it automatically? Sorry, I'm asking all the good questions.
It is a very good question. I think Black Ice operates on its own at the top of the initiative order, but let me check.
Okay.
Okay, so essentially it's a summon.
Okay. Yeah. First paragraph, second.
I'm right there, Anthony. First paragraph of second column. Yeah. You use an action to bring it forward. You use an action to target it at somebody, and then it focuses on that person. If that person slides away, or the thing is derezzed or destroyed, you need to assign a new target to the Black Ice, and that is a net action.
Got it.
Oh. To assign a new target to your Black Ice, the Netrunner needs to spend a net action to deactivate it and activate it again, re-entering it into the top of the initiative queue and sending it at a valid target.
Okay.
As the Raven randomly destroys a defending program, that is, I think you're targeting it at a Netrunner that has defense programs active. I think you would have to point it at a different target, a different runner, in order for that to take place, or a different demon in order for that to take place.
So, question.
Yes.
Sorry, because this is very specific, and I think this is good to get into this a little bit. So, I have Raven attacking a Netrunner in the system, and it spends its first of 4 attacks to derez to do that, right?
First of 4 attacks.
Yeah, it has a speed of attack of 4. Never mind. I'm sorry. I misread the column.
Okay.
So it does its thing. Dereses their program, does 1d6 brain damage to them again. Next turn, it has no programs running. No defender programs running.
Anthony just asked the same question. That's hilarious.
No.
Oh,
don't
I didn't.
send.
No, you're fine.
Okay.
It's just funny that you both asked the same question. I would say it does 5 damage. It doesn't say... Oh, it does say then. I would say that it does that. It does the damage to someone's brain regardless.
Okay. That's what I was curious about. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Are you thoroughly overwhelmed, Billy?
I am trying to make the numbers balance, which they are not right now. I'm looking at the cyberware right now.
What are my Black Ices that just jack you guys out? Those are the ones I need.
Go ahead. You put all those in there you want, my friend.
Yeah, they won't do anything to you, but they'll get rid of him. And then you can't do anything to my Netrunners, so I'm good.
Anthony,
So-
are you saying after everything on the gear list, he still has 330 EB left?
Correct.
Yes.
So, looking at this, the neural wear,
Mm-hmm.
it says, blah, 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 system has 5 options for neural wear options. That's the neural link, right?
So, neural, where are you? What page?
Yeah.
Page 359.
I believe that those are options you can add to your neuro.
Neural link.
Anthony, he has not bought ammunition, and he has not bought other gear. That is correct.
Should I call it here then, is what you're saying?
No, it's just you have 330 eddies left.
Right.
And you could buy other equipment like flashlights and rope and for example, an agent, which you don't have yet,
Right.
stuff like that. But we're also looking at your neuroware. So you have the neural link, right? Piece of metal in a hard drive stuck in your head. You have implant plugs, which are 2 little holes that you can plug wires up to plug into vehicles or smart links or whatever, right? Because that's also something we could look into, is smart linking your weapons.
Okay.
Later on, because you don't have money. But you could also, depending on how many slots you have, this system, your Neuralink has 5 open option slots for neuralware options.
So that's different from the cyberware stuff.
It is still cyberware.
So then I'm confused. If I have 5 options within the Neuralink and then 7 programs within the CyberDeck.
Oh, so
but you're saying
2 different things. Your neuralware is your neural link. That's cyberware in your brain. The CyberDeck is a keyboard with a not even keyboard, but for the sake of everything, it's a keyboard that has a computer in it that is a separate piece. It's a Raspberry Pi, right? That allows you to convert your brain into the net.
Right.
So you're
still,
but like if I buy like
cyberware
teleoptics or whatnot, I'm not going against my CyberDeck. I'm going against the 5 slots in the Neuralink.
No. If you go with your cyber eyes, you're going with a totally different body part. Your neural link is your brain.
Yep.
It attaches to your brain. Your cyber eyes attach to your eyes. Your cyber arm attaches to your arm. All of those are separate. They all affect your humanity overall, but they're all separate. Your
So then how do
CyberDeck,
I know how many 3... Okay.
How
so
many?
each one, Anthony, can you go down on the character page one? So there are, this is a good way to look at it. Each thing has a number of slots, and it says in the section, in the detailed section of the book, how many slots each one gets.
So like Neuralink, for example, has 5 hardware slots for that piece of hardware. And your interface plugs take up one of those 5 slots, if you see the Neuralink.
Gotcha. Yep.
So your CyberDeck, a separate piece of equipment that's not a piece of cyberware, has its own hardware slots.
Gotcha.
Which are 7 hardware slots, hardware or program slots.
Okay.
And your CyberDeck would probably fall under external cyberware.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm going to buy a pair of memory chips.
Okay. They're 10 EB each.
Yep. And they cost 0 for humanity loss.
So, I don't want to be a jerk. But in order to use them with something, you have to have the chipware socket. Yeah.
Ah, okay. That's too expensive. Okay. We'll get rid of the memory chips.
And this is what Mark was talking about, where stuff adds up, cyberware adds up very quickly.
Yeah, I can tell. Okay.
Doesn't mean you can't have 2 memory chips that that maybe have brain dance videos of your girlfriend or that you're carrying with you. You just can't access right now.
Just get them in a corner and that's how you entertain them.
Just let Anthony know if you want to keep the memory chips. Or just let Anthony know if you want to keep the memory chips or not. He'll remove them.
No, that's a pass on the memory chips because I can't use them. Or I'm not right now anyway.
No problem.
Let's see.
So Anthony is strongly recommending that you buy an agent.
Right, that's for sure. Also, shouldn't I be at 330, not 310?
Yes, now because we removed the
Gotcha.
Chips. Yeah.
And
So I guess I'm
technically you're
230.
at 230, yeah.
Yep.
Because the agent costs 100.
But if you sell out, you could have 1,500 more and a free neural link.
Could do. But the answer's no.
The line must be drawn here, no
All right.
further. And
I'm
I will
gonna
make them
do-
pay for what they have done.
One last thing. I'm going to buy nasal filters.
Nasal filters. Making
Is
me
that-
search this PDF.
Neuralware?
It is in internal body cyberware, and it's on page 363.
Thank you.
You jumped. Which makes sense. Although it is more humanity loss.
Yeah, 2 points. I'll take it.
It's not bad.
And then I am going to replace Flack. Is that what the one I want to replace? Yeah, I'm going to replace Flack with Banhammer. So if I have multiple actions, up to 3 that I can do, I can attack once with Banhammer and then attack again once with Sword, all in one turn, right?
Only if they're already active. Actually, I'm sorry. I may have misspoken. Like Sword, you activate it, it does its thing, and it disappears on one action.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. And then
is
Banhammer would
the
be
same?
in.
Yep.
Okay. If it has a res of 0, then that's how you tell that, yes, it just activates and does its thing. So, yes, you could do Banhammer and Sword on the same turn.
But, and the idea being, if I wanted to do Sword twice, I'd have to buy it twice, right?
Yes. The same round.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Yep. I am comfortable with that. And I am going to spend the rest on equipment. Armor, or not armor, like ammo, whatever else I need.
So ammo is essentially 10 for 10. And you have your... Do you want... how many clips would you like?
There's no special ammo, right? It's just the regular stuff.
There is some special ammo.
It's probably too expensive for me anyway. What am I at? 130?
130.
So one clip you said is 10?
Yeah.
And then what else do I need to buy?
Do you need to buy?
Like food or anything like that?
So you're, and like I was saying to them, so which you weren't here for, of course. Like I'm not sorry, my brain is really fluffy right now. Yeah, you could get a biomonitor. A biomonitor would make sense. How much is that, Anthony? 100? A biomonitor also falls under fashion wear, so that would come out of a different budget. Could come out of a different budget. But a biomonitor would link your health stats to your agent and then back to whoever. So while you were in the military or while you were in the French Foreign Legion, it would lead back to like your medic or whatever. So that biomonitor would probably be a good one too. So your lifestyle is a different animal. So you would pick what you eat every month and where you live every month, and it costs a certain amount of monies, right?
Okay.
And when we start the game, let's say we start the game on January 1st. In the real world and in the game, January 1st. As of January 1st, you have paid for January. Doing whatever jobs or the last money that you had from your trip, whatever, you paid for rent for your shipping container that is your apartment, and you paid the 100 EBs for your kibble. And so you're good for January. But February 1st, rent's going to hit you again. So if you chose a place to live in that costs a lot of money, you're going to have to do a lot of really expensive work to get to pay off rent. Otherwise, you get evicted and you sleep on the street.
Okay.
So As of the first month, part of the reason you guys are going to be working together is to pay for rent next month and your extraordinarily high therapy bills, and the end gear and that stuff.
Okay.
So how everybody else sits is a shipping container and kibble. If you wanted pre-packed food, which is like frozen TV meals, it costs a little bit more. If you want fresh food, it costs even more. You get the point.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So then...
And you don't have to have a cargo container either, which is $1,000 a month. You could live in a capsule hotel or a cube hotel, where it's essentially just a bed. But that's up to you.
All right. So then, for now, I'm going to go with...
We haven't done styler clothing yet either, but that's going to be after. We'll do it next.
Well, I'm going to go with 3 clips of ammunition, which leaves me with 100 EB.
Right.
And I don't know what else I need to buy, so I'm leaving that.
Yep. So let's leave you with 100 EB right now, and let's talk fashion.
Okay.
That's like one of the last things we haven't done yet.
Yep.
Um, 102. So 102 and 111. Let's do 111 first real quick, just to show you something. 111 is this is the 800 eddies that you have for fashion and fashion wear. So fashion wear is like your kind of cheap and easy, doesn't affect your humanity level type stuff. So light tattoos are tattoos that can glow and light up. That's what I was talking about earlier when you said your affectation was tattoos, because they're neat and very cyberpunk, but not exactly conducive to stealth unless you're wearing something over them.
Gotcha.
Biomonitor is that subdermal implant which generates a readout of vitals and links back.
Gotcha.
Chemskin permanently changes the hue of your skin, so if you wanted a different color skin. EMP threading, which is just for looks. Essentially, all of this stuff is just for looks.
Gotcha.
That's what it comes down to. Biomonitor being a difference there, and Skin Watch being a difference there. This stuff also falls under that 800. And then back to 102, was it? Nope. 103. 102. 102 on the page, 103 on the PDF.
Okay.
These are the different styles you can kind of choose from for your clothing. And you just kind of, you picked as leisure wear.
Right.
Which adds up to, assuming you get all of it,
It's a lot.
540, I think, out of 800. I don't know if that's right. I think it's right.
Do I have to buy all of that then?
No.
You don't, for example, have to have a hat or contact lenses or glasses
Right.
or mirror shades. But, and you may want more than one pair of shirts, pants, etc. Yeah.
Yeah.
Say that again?
You may want more than one pair of shirts, pants, etc.
So I need to buy multiple pairs of it, of all of it?
You don't have to, but you may want to.
We've had both in this group. We have people that have essentially one set, because I'm not gonna nickel and dime everyone for every crappy torn up T-shirt they have. This is like the clothes you feel most comfortable in and your style, right? So these are the clothes that if you're going to go out and walk out in Lumens Nouveau, go to the French Quarter, hang out at the bar, these are the clothes you're going to be wearing. If you're hanging out at the house or going for a run or you don't really care that day, you can wear your ratty tank top that you've had for 12 years and your pair of gray sweatpants and flip-flops or whatever. I don't care. I'm not gonna make people pay for bag lady chic for the days they don't want to dress up. This is just in Cyberpunk, and it's hard because it's so different than reality is here, kind of. But style is so much a thing in Cyberpunk. And so picking your leisure wear, for example, kind of shows who you are when people look at you. While some people would still show up to a meet for a job dressed in their Sunday best, in this game, most people just dress in their fashion, their chosen fashion, because that's how they have chosen to present themselves, which is kind of how you picked leisure wear to begin with.
Okay, so I think I have an idea of what I'm going to do.
Okay.
I'm going to spend a good chunk of my 800 on crap. Whoops, where'd you go? That I may or may not need.
You're going to spend your 800, is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay.
So, this is completely in character. It makes no sense. I'm going to spend 300 on light tattoos. How you like me now?
I love it.
So I want that sick +2 to wardrobe and style.
So, while you can buy it 3 times, you don't necessarily have to. It's not very specific with how much of your body is covered in light tattoos, but I'm totally behind that. That's cool.
I know you are.
Yeah.
You love it. Is a biomonitor? So no one's played it, so I'm wondering how useful that actually is.
So I'm gonna have can you talk, Anthony?
I can. Does it mess up the screen?
No.
Nope.
So can you go over the importance of biomonitors for medtech and that kind of stuff?
So the biomonitor is monitoring all of your vital statistics. So your temperature, your blood pressure, your oxygen levels, all of those fun medical statistics. Constantly monitors it and sends it to your agent. So you can view to see how healthy or not healthy you are. It's also helpful for a medtech to be able to see that when I'm trying to heal you. To my knowledge, there's no in-game bonus other than the role play of just knowing what your health level is at. I don't get your actual health number, of course, but I can see all of the indications.
Okay. I mean, other than if I were to tell you I don't feel well.
True.
If you tell me you don't feel well, then you can look at your agent and you can see that you're running a temperature right now, and you likely have the flu or whatever.
He means without the biomonitor. Yeah,
you just say I don't feel well.
Gotcha.
I'm bleeding out. Well, actually, you've only taken a couple hit points of damage.
I'm dying.
I've never been in this much pain.
Okay.
It's neat. Anthony has one because it made sense for the character he's playing, but I don't think Mark took one, and I know Jay didn't take one.
I did not.
Yeah.
And I think Jay did, actually.
Oh, he did?
I seem to think he did.
Okay. Oh, no, I think you're right. Yeah. But yeah. If you don't think it makes sense, then yeah, no, you're good. All the light tattoos.
Okay, I know what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go with 3 light tattoos, because yes. Okay. I'm going to go with the monitor, the health monitor, biomonitor, what do we want to call it. That puts me at 400, yeah?
Yep.
I'm going to spend 100 on bottoms because I need, I need something to cover up the equipment.
You need pants. Yeah.
Exactly. I'm going to spend 100 on a jacket. So that's 200 of my 400 remaining. Good down. I'm going to spend 50 on mirror shades and 50 on footwear. So that's 300 down. And I'm going to leave myself with another. I'm going to go ahead and keep.
So anything you don't spend on this goes away.
Right.
Yeah. So the only money that you keep is money from your original 25,500.
Good to
Yeah.
know.
The fashion money, if you don't use it, goes away, and the cybernetics money, if you had sold out and didn't spend all of it, it goes away too.
Cybernetics money. The 2550.
Yeah. No. If you had sold out and got the extra 1,500 for cyber,
Gotcha.
if you only spent 800, you don't keep the remainder. I think he said shoes after mirror shades.
But I already said footwear.
Right. He didn't hear what you had said after mirror shades.
Oh, sorry.
No,
so, right. So after mirror shades, I already said footwear and mirror shades. So I think I have 100 left. So I'm going to buy 2 tops and a hat. And I'm done.
You have 10 left. You could buy Bag Lady Chic contact lenses.
They're used. Somebody found them out back of a Ripper Duck.
Yeah, that's so
Peeled
funny.
them off of a dried out eye that was back there.
I don't have to stick with leisure wear?
No, you can do whatever you want. It's your style.
So you pick a main style that kind of represents you, but how you go day to day is up to you.
Fuck. Well, then in that case, I'm going to dodge the hat and go with generic chic bottom.
Anthony hates me
I've
so
got-
much right now.
I've got 2 tops, 2 bottoms, a jacket, footwear, mirror shades, and 3 mother effing tattoos.
That's right.
I already know which one I'm going to go with, too, in locations for the most part. So the idea will be that my shirts, my tops, aren't very thick. So you can, because I plan on having it like on my chest and my back. So if I don't have a jacket on, you can actually see the tattoos through the shirt.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so did we add the extra -2 humanity for his nasal filter?
So that's a total of 16. Yep.
Cool. And I think that's it. Other than typing in the weapon stuff, I think that's it. That's a heavy weapon or heavy pistol. Damages
3d6?
2d6.
I think it's 3.
3d6.
12, 2, and no notes. That's it. Oh yeah, and 30 rounds. Yep. For homework, I need you to think of names for some of your stuff.
Of my stuff. Oh, like the characters?
Yeah. For some of your characters, and for your rival friend, the friend who was a rival but is now your server. Oh no, you made a name for him. You need a name for your girlfriend that disappeared mysteriously. You need I need 3 NPCs that you interact with in the city that we haven't named already. that are just people that you've met and that you hang out with. I'm not talking fixers that get you equipment. I'm not talking people that are necessarily related to your doing jobs, but like people that you enjoy spending time around to help flesh out the city. And then I need 3 locations, again, that aren't really attached to your job. They're just out there, places that Hector likes to spend time at, and like where he hangs out, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And you need the corporate exec's name and which corporation it is.
Right.
Gotcha. Okay.
Which we can also do. We can do those. We can do what corporation it is later, definitely. But if you want to come up with a name, that works too.
Right.
Thank you very much
No,
for
thank you.
making the character. Thank you, Anthony, for typing all that in. I know it's not easy. Hopefully you got to eat. And yeah, we have one more character to make. And then we will have all 5. We can get started.
And thank you, everybody. As always, if you'd like to support us, you can do so by clicking the follow button on Twitch, or if you're able to, hit that support button, the subscribe button on Twitch as well. That you'll become one of our rock stars.
Yes.
If you're on YouTube, make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and of course the bell icon so you get notified whenever we upload new content every single day, Monday through Friday. And then last but not least, you can support us at patreon.com/Gamersledge, where you can get your name on every single show that we do for as little as $1 a month, just like the fine folks coming up across the screen here. Thank you, Billy. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Daniel. For all of us here at Gamersledge. Until next time, game on.
Game on.
Game on.